Okay, continuing our exploration of everything entrepreneurship, chapter 8, Entrepreneurial Marketing and Sales. Kind of a long chapter, lot of stuff to absorb here, a ton of stuff to help you with your pending marketing section and then also your overall business plan. Lots of stuff here. I want you to read the background around marketing and then look at traditional marketing versus entrepreneurial marketing. This is where I really want to start. So, traditional marketing are like these really formalized campaigns that require a lot of money, a lot of time. You need whole teams to establish a brand. Um, you have these incredible markers. You have these 7 P's that we talk about in marketing, which we'll touch on here in a second. And you build a consistency. Whereas entrepreneurial marketing, there's a lot of sweat equity. So you don't have a ton of money up front. You, as the founder, are driving everything. You need to be clever, have energy, be persistent, and have a story. Just like we were talking about last week about selling yourself through a story. That leads you to trust with your customers and then your brand. You want to relay how much of a solution you have for a problem for someone. So hopefully at this point you've identified a problem that needs solving, you're offering a solution, and you're telling your story. Um, how you do this is getting in front of your customers and asking questions. Find out what attracted them to your product, your initial customers, and try to basically figure out how you can develop that into a long-term relationship. How do you develop new products to continue with a fresh line? What's the best way to communicate with these folks? What about the design do they like and you not like? Ton of trial and error here, and emphasis on trial and error. You will screw up. That's okay. You will go in thinking one thing and realize you're 100% wrong. Um, you need to be able to communicate with your customers continuously. Give them a way to offer you a feedback loop. You don't have to pay money to do that. If you're Panera Bread, you can give people a free cookie and they'll tell you what they thought about their experience that day. So find innovative ways to continuously have a feedback loop and use that to say, we've heard you and here's what we're going to do, and add it to your marketing mix. So up until now, we've been really talking about a target market, which is our specific group of consumers for which you're going to target. Why so specific? Everybody's like, well, I want to target everybody. Well, guess what? You got to be a big player up here and a lot of resources to traditionally target everyone. You're not. You're figuring out, okay, I am targeting 35 to 45-year-old women who live in Spartanburg County who have 2 kids and have this problem. If you can make that your target market, you can build a winning marketing mix. You can write a ton about it. Everybody's like, well, if I get specific, I won't have anything to write about. Guess what? Well, if you're not specific, you just spend 1,000 words saying nothing. And I'm going to let you know that on your grade. So what's a marketing mix? Well, you got your product or service. Okay, you got promotions. So how do you communicate the benefits of that product or service to your customers? You obviously have a price, and you're gonna have to give some thought to price. That includes your markup. That includes your revenues. That covers your costs. You have you also want it to be a price that someone will actually pay. You have a place. How are you going to reach that target market? Is this a mobile business? Is this a brick and mortar? Is this online? If it's online, how do you specifically target that place? Online, the temptation to say, well, I'm going to target the planet. Yeah, okay, that's not a plan. I'm going to target the planet with, teaching entrepreneurship. They're not all going to listen. You guys have to because I'm the one grading you. If you want better scores on your business plans, you're actually watching these things. So you have people. That's not just your customers. That's your company and how they relate to your customers. You have a physical environment. What do you want your atmosphere to be? If it's a website, there is an environment. If it's a mobile business, there's an environment. How do they feel when they step up? If you have a store, there certainly is a physical environment. And you have a process. So what's the process work like? Okay, think about Moe's and Chipotle. Yeah, they're both kind of dipping, but they do things differently. Moe's and Chipotle have a different process for how they get you a burrito. All right, so what's your process? How does a person come in and try on a pair of jeans at your location? If you're online, what's your process for allowing them to try jeans and be able to send them back if they don't fit? Better be thinking about those processes. If you're a mobile detailing business, Are you going to people's work? And so they go in at 9, you come in at 10:30 in the morning, you watch everything there. How's your process for getting paid? Is this a subscription? What are we doing? They're driving home afterwards with a nice shiny car. What was your process for capturing that business? What's your process for taking that model and getting other people in the parking lot so you can wash and clean, 18 cars that day in the same place? Do you go through the office manager? What's your process? Let's see here. Word of mouth. What's going on here? We talk about your product. They break down each of these 7 P's. I'm going to let you guys read that. Read about that. I want to get on down here. We start talking about some methodology. Advantages and disadvantages of promotional types. So these are different methodologies for promoting. We have advertising, public relations, social media. A ton of you guys are saying social media. That's great. My experience, Facebook is trash in terms of getting business. I've just seen that. Instagram, it's awesome. But you need to be able to justify it. Yeah, I'm just going to use social media. That's not a business plan. That's you just saying something. That's an F. Are you going to run TV ads, radio spots? Here's some advantages, here's some disadvantages. Are you going to have billboards? Public relations, that's a lot of, like, you sponsor a T-ball team, that type of thing. There's some benefits there, but you better know that if you sponsor a T-ball team, that's great. You may love baseball and little kids. That's awesome. All right? But if you're doing it for public relations, for advertising purposes, you better make darn sure little Johnny, when he puts on this jersey and sees your company sponsoring that little Johnny's mom or dad is within your target market. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Social media, social networking such as Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, they didn't even put the most valuable one on here, in my opinion, which is Instagram. How are you going to reach your people in there? It can be pretty inexpensive way to do it. It can be persuading. Target markets you can pretty much customize everything in there, and you have some great analytics. Some companies, though, on the negative side, use social media, and it's hard to stand out from the crowd. You're just white noise. You're just another ad that people are scrolling by. It can be time-consuming, setting that up, so make sure it's reaching the people that you want to reach. So the work you've been doing to tell me that your target market are women 35 to 45, for example, living in the west side of Spartanburg, let me know that Instagram can reach those. So you better be on top of it in terms of put it this way. If you send me a thing that said, we're just going to use social media, I'm going to fail you right on the spot. I'm telling you right now on this lecture, I'm going to fail you on the spot for that whole section. You're going to get a 40. I don't care whatever else anything says. If you say, we're just going to use social media and that's it, fail. You'll fail this section. Now I'm going to figure out who's actually watching my lectures. Actually, Brightspace tells me that anyway, so some of y'all are going to have some crap participation scores. Direct mail, very expensive. Email list, that type of thing. So whether it's electronic mail or mail, take a look at the benefits here. These are things that you can go through in this week's assignment and say, you know what, I like this, I don't like this. I'm going to center on this. What am I going to do? I'm going to do direct mail, but I'm going to do electronic mail. Here's how I'm going to get my list of people. We're going to make them subscribers, that type of thing. Sales promotions, limited time coupons, first time buyer, that type of thing. Personal selling, that's between you and the client. You need constant lead generation there, but it can give that personal touch of kind of, a relationship builder, if you will. Price is value, so the cost of your product or service. Cost-led pricing is the easiest way to basically price a product. You start by creating the cost of your product, and then you add in your profit margin, and then that's just your price. Now, you have to be able to compare it to your competition to figure out whether you're doing a penetration pricing where you just come in low and look cost leader, or are you trying to do premium pricing? Everybody's like, I'm just going to cut the prices and then raise them over time. Yeah, good luck with that. They'll just drop you like a hat. Is your product good enough to have premium pricing? So your perceived value of your service is you're just the best in town, so you can charge more. We all know cheap pizza versus quality pizza, right? Cheap pizza versus quality pizzas. $5 hot and ready. It's like $5.50 now at Little Caesars. That's a cheap pizza. I don't expect that to be an exquisite pizza. If I want an exquisite pizza, I go to La Taverna, and I pay let's see here, $24 for a really large pizza, whereas I could get one for $5. What's the difference? Yeah, one of them's premium price because it's good, or at least better. It's a lot better. La Taverna. There's a free ad for them. There's different types of pricing here I want you to read about. Bundling. Do you package 2 products or services together? I want you to read about this. What I need to start seeing from you guys is basically what I'm seeing on these assignments Or, hey, I'm just going to do this. And that's crap you could have said last year. Like you didn't learn anything from this. I want you to come in and say, you know what? I learned this from this class. I'm going to do a bundling. Or I'm going to do a mail order offering. Or I'm going to do a subscription box. Or I'm going to look at being a low price leader. Or introductory offers. I want to start seeing you guys incorporate what you're learning from the reading into your business plans. It's not that complicated. We continue on with the 7 P's when we talk about place. All right. I'm trying to target planet Earth. Yeah, no, you're targeting somebody specific. Start small and grow from there. Amazon started out as an online textbook retailer. They didn't start out as we want to take over the world, retail speaking. They've done that. They've gone there, but they didn't start there. People, physical environment, we talked about this process. Really need you to start hashing that out. The more effort you put in each week, the easier it's going to be on you in the end of this course. The less, either you're going to have a crap product and get a failing grade, or you're going to have a harder time putting together a quality thing. If you're doing it week to week, and some of you are doing it week to week, you're going to have a heck of a business plan. Now, we'll get to secondary research here in a minute. That's a lot of what you guys have presented right now, things from like census and PLS.gov. But primary research, I am going to require that you have some primary research. So basically the 6 steps to making or to uncovering primary research are: 1, define the research goal. That could be, you know what, I'm selling jeans. I want to understand what people truly think of the existing jeans selling process in Spartanburg. And through that, you can design your research, say a survey. You can choose a sample of people, sample out of convenience with both the pandemic and you have people around you. Don't just get people who are just going to say, yeah, sweetie, I buy your jeans all the time. Get people who said, you know what, I hate this about buying jeans right now. Collect data that can be quantitative or qualitative. How many times a week do you think about going shopping? How many times a month do you actually go shopping? Those are quantitative. Qualitative is what is your opinion on your current options to buy jeans in Spartanburg? Analyze that data, process it, and then come to some conclusions and develop some next steps. It might be to go back and clearly define your research goal and go through the process again, or it might be, you know what, Keisler, I found out that people don't really want to go to a store during the pandemic, but they're also scared that if they try on a pair of pants and it doesn't fit, that I won't take them back. So here's what I'm going to offer. I'm going to communicate to my people and market that, you know what, you have endless ability to try on our jeans even if you order them online and send them back free of charge. Okay, now you're heading somewhere. How did you get to that conclusion? Primary research. Okay, so we go through the steps here about defining our research goal. Things like a focus group, things like a survey, determine research design. You can have qualitative research, you can have quantitative research, you can have search by ethnographics, you can have search by demographics. I want you to read all about that, and then we get into quantitative research right here. Casual research and test marketing. I realize that you guys have short time. Casual research is okay with me. I just want you to give me something conclusive, something that's interesting, something that if you have a theory if that's how you're going to run your business, go ask people if you think that'll work. And if you get enough people to say, hey, you think that'll work, that's evidence. If you get enough people to say, that's terrible, why don't you do it this way, they might save you from yourself. All right, choose a sample, collect data, going through the processes here, the 6 processes. Analyzing data research. Secondary market research is what you guys have done a lot of right now. Census Bureau fact finders, Pew Research, current population surveys, Small Business Administration information, etc., etc. Table, I think this is 8.3. Yep, 8.3 gives a good breakdown of some different sources. And by the way, if you're going to cite data in an academic setting, you need to, cite it. If you're going to cite it in a paragraph, there needs to be a citation at the end of the document. Syndicated sites for secondary research. So this is a little more official government, think tank related. They're syndicated. Nielsen, both TV rating and Prism. And then also going down here, Scarborough, Geoscape, that type of thing. You can find some interesting information here. To date, the best bit of research I have gotten was for a gym. And it was a Google search of other gyms in the area this person was looking to locate. And you know how they put up the map when you search like gyms in Spartanburg? Well, they put up a map of a gyms in Charlotte, and there was a big hole in South Charlotte where there's no gyms. Sorry, Dave, I don't mean to give away your secrets here. literally just included a screen grab of that and circled a big area where there's no gyms, where there's a bunch of people with disposable income, and said, yeah, I'm going to locate here. That's brilliant. That's perfect. That's okay. Be specific and you will get points. Good job, Desi. Recognition and validation. You might think you know a market opportunity you don't know until you get out there and actually ask some people about it. So do that. Market analysis, all right, so this is what we were talking about last week. We started talking about total available market, TAM, service available market, SAM, and then target market, which is the obtainable market, SOM. Planet Earth. I could sell to planet Earth. But really, I'm probably going to sell to the upstate of South Carolina, and in particular, the west side of Spartanburg, just as an example, okay? I need to know how many this is, how many this is, how many is this. Why can't you get all these? Why can you get these? And why are these your sweet spot? That's not asking too much. TAM and SAM, baby, get on it. If you didn't do it last week, you need to do it, because I'm going to grade it when it gets down to it. Market segments, read about that, targeting, positioning, keeping on rolling. Wag, dog walking app, cool. Read about that. You never know, you might get some good ideas. By the way, chapter 11 is like an overview of a complete business plan by La Vida. I think it's a fictitious company. It might be real. But it literally breaks down these sections. I can't understand why I keep getting stuff turned into me. I can't understand. You guys aren't doing the lecture and you aren't doing the reading. And when you take shortcuts, you get a 30. Guerrilla marketing. I'm going to market. I'm going to social media. Guess what? There are different styles of marketing, different ways. Guerrilla marketing basically says, if you go out to a mall and put a bunch of flyers on a car, that's guerrilla marketing. Okay? That's guerrilla marketing. There's some different examples here. I want you to read about that. Going out, playing this game out in the middle of the busy street here shows people, hey, this is a pretty cool game. Tell me about this. Oh, you can buy this. Relationship marketing. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to build a relationship marketing plan. Well, okay, how are you going to build a relationship around that new business or service? New product or service, rather. Expeditionary marketing, real-time marketing, take a look at that. So when you say, hey, I'm going social media, I'm just going to do social media. No, tell me, are you going to do viral marketing? How are you going to get viral marketing? Here's some examples of how you can do that. Digital marketing, there's some examples here. It's almost like I'm scrolling through this to allow you to maybe take a closer look at something that might intrigue you and actually get you points on your plan. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, homie. Word of mouth marketing. A lot of people are going to run like a service that might be word of mouth marketing, but how do you get a customer to talk about another customer? Well, we know first rule of economics, principle number 4, is people respond to incentives. Perhaps you take your current customers and give them incentive to tell them about your mobile detailing business. So guess what? If you refer 2 people, you get a free detailing. There you go, William Allen. That's for you, buddy. Different entrepreneurial marketing techniques. Break it down. Summary here. If you don't want to read the whole chapter, it's like 25 pages. I know. Reading's hard. Scroll down to these tables. It's where it summarizes things. Be like, I want to learn more about guerrilla marketing. And then you can just go back up to guerrilla marketing. Maybe viral marketing. What does that mean? Continuing on, digital marketing, word of mouth. Word of mouth is phenomenal marketing, but it can go south really quickly. Most online reviews, you can consider that digital marketing or word of mouth. It's really like a kind of in between the two. But think about it. If you ever had like a really good dinner, did you think, man, I can't wait to go home and give them a great review? No. If you go online and you're giving a review, chances are it's because you're angry. Chances are it's because you had a terrible meal. So digital marketing tends to be negative. Be careful with word of mouth marketing. You want to incentivize people to leave positive word of mouth marketing. Entrepreneurial branding. How are you going to build your brand? What's your brand strategy? Do you have any taglines? Do you want people to remember things? Here's some taglines. I've always been fascinated by things like Birchbox, Sprezzy Box. I did that for a while. They sent me some new ties like every month. It was pretty cool. Subscription boxes, that type of thing. I'm very interested in that model and that setup as a consumer and as a potential entrepreneur in there. Red Bull gives you wings. Nike, just do it. Apple, think different. What is your tagline? Okay, and how will it work? Keep it on rolling. Keep it on rolling. Oh, by the way, I moved the deadlines basically from Wednesday to Sunday, so everything's going to be due on Sunday from here on out. I'm trying not to date this lecture because, yes, I'm going to use it again in the future. But if you have all week to get something done, and you turn in crap on Sunday night, that tells me you didn't do anything. That's going to get in a grade according to that. If you have a week and you turn it in early, or you turn it in with some incredible content that you learned from this reading and this video and our office hours together, you're going to get a good grade. It's as simple as that. Brand advocate, how do you get people to advocate for you? Marketing strategy, marketing plan. That's what I'm looking for this week, right? You got a link right here in the full textbook. You can click on that. It'll take you exactly to the marketing strategy part in the textbook. All you gotta do is click. Takes you there. Gives you an example. You can use that. That's your guide. But it's also your guide to how your company is going to achieve its marketing goals. What are your marketing goals? I need to be able to see this. If you just said, hey, my marketing plan is just to roll out social media, F. And then we got a sample marketing plan. Breaks it down word by word. Okay. Executive summary. Anything says executive summary, you write that dead last, by the way. Situational analysis, marketing opportunity. What's your key opportunities? How's this fit within your business model? Remember this business model canvas we covered really early? That ties all your key strategies together. Your marketing should reflect that. This is one big plan. Marketing objectives, marketing strategies. Boom, you need to live here. Marketing strategies. What's your action plan? How do you financially cover that? We're just going to do a full advertisement on Google, and then we're going to run some commercials and some television ads, and you don't tell me anything about your cost? Red pen, F. All right. How much does that cost? Do a little bit of research. A couple Googles, phone call. Might be able to tell me something. That cost me about $300 a month. Here's how we're going to pay for it. Sales and customer service. Sales is the second part of this, by the way. If you're interested, there will be a professional sales course at SMC moving forward, taught by yours truly. Prospecting, that's figuring out who your prospects are, making sales call, presenting the proposal. Here's how we can help you. Handling objections, closing the sale, and fulfilling the order. Every one of these steps matter. Please read about it. All right. Getting towards the end here. Customer service. Think Chick-fil-A versus Arby's, man. If you ever had anything wrong at Arby's, they're like, yeah, what? Oh, here you go. Your curly fries are cold. Here's some warm ones. Customer service at Chick-fil-A. I am so sorry. It was my pleasure to serve you. How can I make this right? Two different cultures. Customer service is ultimately a culture. What do you want your customer service culture to be? Key terms means we're into the chapter. Scrolling back to the top, this wraps up this particular, if we can get there, lecture. So make sure you're utilizing the reading. Make sure you're taking time to thoughtfully consider what you want to do. If you're sitting down with a Word document and just writing this out every week, that's a mistake. Sit down with a pen and a piece of paper, maybe a pencil, and start making a plan. And yes, your reading is here in Brightspace. Let me know if I can help you. Good luck.